So America is turning left again? Welcome to Law and Society. Let's talk about it. I don't like favorable projections. They are just projections. Countless things can happen that can change at any time, and those projections become useless. So while projections of Democrats winning the midterms looks favorable, I can't take it for granted, nor do I see it as a reason to get comfortable. The nation's trend is moving leftward now. Less than a year ago, they were all moving rightward. Americans are fickle, instant pleasure junkies, and the chaos in today's politics only worsens those impulses. We tend to not care about issues until they come bite us in the ass. And that bite is coming. Grocery prices are high now. They'll either get higher or stay the same for the near future. Likely to get higher though. Tariffs mixed with immigration policy mixed with health safety hazards does not bode well for those hoping for a lower cost of living. Energy costs are high now, and they're likely to stay that way until our government can figure out what to do with supplying energy to an ever-growing data center across our country. There are data centers across our country that's sucking up electricity, and that's why the price of electricity keeps going up. And Donald Trump is taking the country backwards when it comes to affordable energy by sabotaging renewable technology from wind and solar and other energy storage solutions and focusing back on diesel and coal when those pollute and also cost more. So energy, we might have an energy prices go down because of excessive drilling of oil and coal and other non-renewable fossil fuels, but that's going to be for a limited time only, and that's only going to exacerbate the climate crises that we are experiencing on a near seasonal basis. Every season has some sort of an extreme temperature drop or hike that really impacts people more and more on a more regular basis than we saw even 25, 30 years ago. Housing costs will remain high because cost of building new homes has gone up because of labor shortage due to Donald Trump's immigration policies and the price of building supplies like timber because of the tariffs and our trade war with our closest partner, Canada. Medical insurance costs will skyrocket unless Republicans are forced to, and they're saying they will quietly, extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies because they have no plan to replace the subsidies without such a program. People with pre-existing conditions and regular incomes won't be able to afford health insurance. After 15 years of trying to repeal and neuter the Affordable Care Act, Republicans and MAGA are now getting ready to temporarily extend the very subsidies they want to cut because they don't have a plan to replace it. And they know that millions of people, many in their districts, will benefit from the ACA subsidies and would suffer greatly if these subsidies expire. Community safety is becoming a serious problem because of Donald's DHS army. It will worsen as Donald decks DHS up with facial recognition and surveillance software. Despite lower federal courts holding Donald back as much as possible, the Supreme Court has favored the administration brazenly over the last 10 months. The Big Beautiful Act still has not been implemented. When it goes into full effect, Medicaid funding will be cut by $1 trillion over 10 years. SNAP funding will be cut by $187 billion in that time. USDA also subsidized a lot of local farms to supply produce to high schools that provide food assistance for children who need it. So this will impact, the SNAP cuts will impact the farming industry as well. Virtually every department will see cuts in the government, except Homeland Security and the Defense Department. Homeland Security won't help disaster victims because FEMA will slowly be disbanded. Donald has already denied federal disaster aid to Maryland and California. DHS will increasingly serve as Donald's personal army and will regularly police American streets. Increasing cost of living is having an impact even on middle-income people. That is not a good sign. This demographic pays for its own insurance, sometimes employs people for household caretaking, and infuses money into the economy. This demographic does not take government subsidies, but rising costs, insurance, and energy costs are pinching their pockets as well. So if they are feeling the pinch, one can only imagine how low-income people are doing. They are struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, foregoing medical insurance and hoping for the best, lining up at food pantries despite working full-time. This shouldn't be happening in America. As we head into the midterms, Democratic and non-MAGA candidates must champion resolving the issues I just mentioned. They must commit to work for the interest of their constituents instead of corporate interests that undercut the well-being of regular people. We must keep reminding Americans that Republicans control every branch of our government right now, and it just so happens that it is now that we are about to lose our social safety nets, the chance of getting affordable health care, and long-term economic security. Keep reminding people of these truths. Remind them that today's GOP cannot govern, and they aren't responsible enough to govern. If they were, they'd have had a replacement to the Affordable Care Act in the last 15 years. If they were, they would be putting checks on the president instead of letting him take away congressional powers. If they were, they wouldn't cut social safety nets that support their constituents. These are the issues that matter to the people, and these are the causes our elected leaders must champion if they want to move our country forward and away from the hands of MAGA politicians who siphon money and power from their position and fail to do their jobs. Thank you for listening. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll come back and talk to you soon.